It has been 301 days since Ron Patch Memorial Field has held a varsity baseball game. It has been 301 days since the Roaring Fork Rams have worn the blue and gold. It has been 301 days since varsity baseball has been played here in Carbondale, Colorado. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2023-2024 Roaring Fork Rams varsity baseball season. I am your play-by-play and color commentator, Brooks Chatman, here on GrassRoots Aspen TV. Today we have the Evergreen Cougars facing off against your own Roaring Fork Rams. Today, the weather here in Carbondale, here at Ron Patch Memorial Field, is absolutely stunning. The wind is definitely a factor, as I'm sure some of you will hear in the microphone, but that is out of my control, sadly. I can't even express how excited I am for baseball today. The Evergreen Cougars come in today's play. This is also their opening day, along with the Roaring Fork Rams. Coaches are meeting with the home plate umpire, Bob Richardson, prior to first pitch here. Again, I am your host, color commentator, play-by-play commentator, Brooks Chatman. I'm a senior at Roaring Fork High School. I have been broadcasting sports for better of a 1 year now. Last year, I also broadcasted for the Roaring Fork Rams with my own setup, but I am now here on Aspen and GrassRoots. As we are waiting first pitch here in Carbondale, the weather currently 52 degrees and windy here on the west side of the Carbondale Middle School, here at one of the greatest baseball stadiums in the state of Colorado, Ron Patch Memorial Field. I'll say it one more time. The wind is supposed to keep up. Cloudy conditions are expected around 4 o'clock. The game should be just about halfway through around then. The weather has just been phenomenal, as I mentioned. Good 50s, high 40s. This season's about to be a lot of fun. The Rams coming to this year with different expectations. Last year's expectations were to win state, and they came very close, and I'll touch on that later throughout the broadcast. This year, as they graduated some really key players, this year we're just looking to bounce back. We will make a spot in the playoffs. That is a quote from Marty Matson. We will be back in the playoffs. He has no doubt in this mind. He's very confident with this team, with this lineup, this young team and young lineup, led by Noel Richardson and Cole Fenton and Max Seitel Hayes. Head coach of the Evergreen Cougars, Coach John Crane. This is his first year as head coach of the varsity program here in Evergreen. He's coached JV for the Evergreen Cougars for a couple of years now. He's been involved, with the program as his son was a part of the program back when he was in high school, went on to go to college and then had some major league play. Coaches and umpires shaking hands. Coach Marty Matson, Coach Crane, and we are underway. Looks like the national anthem will be on here in just a couple of moments. Players are coming out to the third base line as we are about to line up for the national anthem, so I'm going to take off my headset and stand up to celebrate our country. Just give me one moment. The Roaring Fork Rams running out onto the field, and baseball is back here in Carbondale, Colorado. You can see Krista Barlow, the athletic director, pumping her fist in the air as she is ready for some Roaring Fork baseball. Once again, I am your host, color commentator, play-by-play commentator, Brooks Chatman, senior at Roaring Fork High School. The Rams getting sure-handed defensive reps as this game is about to begin. Cole Fenton will be on the mound. I will have a very, very exciting segment about Cole Fenton later throughout this game. Fenton is one of the top pitchers in the nation. He was the top pitcher in the state of Colorado last season, number 8, the big, tall, 6'4", right-handed flamethrower. His catcher is Donnie Reed. He's a sophomore going around the horn for your Roaring Fork Rams. Leading off and playing shortstop, Kenny Riley. Batting second, pitcher, number 8, Cole Fenton. My apologies. Chase is his brother. That is my apologies. Batting third, number 11, center fielder Noel Richardson. Batting fourth in cleanup, Donnie Reed, number 23. Batting fifth, Maxi Tell Hayes at second base. Batting sixth, left fielder, number 9, Ethan Gardner. Batting sixth. Sorry. The wind is definitely screwing me over. Batting seventh, number 6, Weston Sherman in right field. At first base, number 3, Andy McMichael. And rounding out your Roaring Fork Rams offense and defense, number 2, at third base, Charlie Phyllis. Johnny Reed will throw it down to second base, and we are underway. The leadoff hitter for the Evergreen Cougars is Griffin Goshman. Left fielder. Calling balls and strikes will be Bob Richardson. He's a very beloved official here in the Roaring Fork Valley and the state of Colorado. Fenton settles in on the mound. Here comes the first pitch of the 2023-2024 Roaring Fork season. And therefore strike, and we are underway. Last time these two teams faced off was opening day of last season, almost 365 days ago. The Cougars got the best of the Rams with the final score of 15-0, as that's a swing and a miss from Griffin Goshman. He's behind in the count 0-2. Cougars went on to have a very successful season, along as the Roaring Fork Rams did. Here's the 0-2 delivery from Fenton. Up high, that'll miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. That'll miss low. Went with the curve. Count will even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Roaring Fork Rams are coached by head coach Marty Matson, assistant coach Marty Old Man Matson, as that pitch is high, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and hitting coach Tanner Nieslanik. So with a full count to start off the 2024 season, Cole Fenton has the opportunity to pick up his first strikeout of what hopes to be a record-breaking season, as what we saw last year was just outright phenomenal. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch from Fenton. That'll miss high, ball 4. So Griffin Goshman will walk to start off the season. Runner on first base is Goshman, the 2-hole hitter. Number 3, Brody March, playing second base today. Stands in with a very interesting batting stance. McMichael holding the batter, or the runner, my apologies, at first, as Cole Fenton will step off. March the batter. Here's the first pitch from Fenton. That'll miss high. Gets past the sophomore, Donnie Reed. That'll be a pass ball Runner on second, nobody out. The 1-0 delivery. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. After 2 quick strikes, Fenton has thrown 6 consecutive balls. Let's see if he can bounce back here. Checks on the runner at second. Here's the pitch. That'll miss high, 3-0. On deck is Ryan Cook, the pitcher today for Evergreen. 3 balls, no strikes. The delivery. In there for a strike. Gets past Donnie Reed. Another pass ball. So Griffin Goshman will hustle on down to third base. Turn to walk into a triple with some poor defensive mistakes by the sophomore catcher. Last year, if you were familiar with the Roaring Fork Rams, they had Max Bullock back. They are a very sure-handed defensive and offensive catcher. So 3 balls and a strike to Brody March, the pitch. That'll miss low. Ball 4. So runners on the corners, nobody out for the 3-hole hitter, Ryan Cook, the pitcher, number 4. Marty Mattson will go out and talk to Cole. You know, it is the first 2 batters of the season. You know, there should be nothing. I don't want to say he's unfamiliar with it, but you know, it's a new season. It's been 301 days, as I said. Infield is meeting. Cole Fenton towers over everybody in that infield. Fenton at 12 pitches here in the first inning. Goshman, the runner at third. March, the runner at first. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Cook, the senior. Swing and a miss. Big swing and a miss. Wanted to send it over the right field wall. 0-1. Cook is today's starting pitcher. He throws very, very hard. That is the word around the street, and that is the word from his head coach. Fenton steps off. Runner is going, swing and a miss, throw down to second base. Not in time, hits the runner, and a run will go on to score. Griffin Goshman scores the first run of the ball game. That runner did get hit by the throw down by Donnie Reed. He is in some discomfort. It was a swing and a miss, so the count will be 0-2, but a run did score off of an error by Donnie Reed. That'll be his 3rd of the inning. Wind is picking up here in Carbondale. No balls and 2 strikes. Bob Richards, the whole plate umpire, calling time, his time. Needs time to get settled. Looking for his first strikeout. Fenton digs in, gets a sign from his catcher, Reed. The 2-strike pitch. Swung on, driven left field. That's going to drive foul. First piece of contact of the season goes foul. The count will remain 0-2. Good block by the catcher. Gets past him. Another run will score. Another bad throw from the catcher, Donnie Reed. He's having a tough first inning, so 2 runs score here in this first inning without recording an out. Ryan Cook in a 1-2 count. The pitch. Strike 3. First strikeout of the season. Brought to you by Cole Fenton's amazing curveballs right down the middle. Beautiful location for the first out. No runners on. Here is the first pitch to Jack Teska, and he'll take a strike. 0-1. Fenton gets the sign quickly. The 0-1. That'll miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last season, the Rams finished 15-10, placing third in what was and still is the most competitive league in all of 3A, the Western Slope League. The Rams dropped 2 league games all season, which happened to be the most influential of the entire year. Roaring Fork, we would move on to the playoffs with high hopes as they were riding off of the most profound seasons that I couldn't think of in recent history. Pitch gets past Reed, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Rams were definitely capable of going the distance, as we saw them take down the Alamosa Mean Moose, but ran into a not-so-friendly foe. We saw the excellence of future MLB star Walker Martin as he sent one over the right field wall that finished up the season for the Rams. This season, they strive for the same success by following the same philosophy. Baseball is baseball. Marty Mattson, that is a very Marty Mattson quote. Baseball is baseball. If you just play it right, play each pitch right, you will win the game. Win an at-bat, win a pitch, and the games will follow. If you follow the fundamentals, the games and the wins will follow. So another foul ball by Jack Teska. Three balls and 2 strikes. Here's a full count pitch from Cole Fenton. That'll miss. Ball 4. Third walk of the inning for Fenton. He is just off. And it's, these 2 runs are not earned, as it's definitely been a lot of defensive mistakes that have led to the 2 runs put up so far here in the first inning by the Evergreen Cougars. So now coming into bat, Cole Lawrenson, number 2, playing shortstop. Throw back, not in time. Lawrenson is very tall, lanky middle infielder. I saw him warming up, prior to the game. He's very sure-handed defensively, so I'm excited to see what this game holds. Here's the pitch. Runner's off. Donnie Reed can't handle it. That was called for a strike, though, at the knees of Lawrenson. So Jack Teska gets a stolen base. Lawrenson in an even count with Fenton. Cole Fenton steps off. Teska, the batter at second. Pops out of the glove of Donnie Reed. Nothing doing on the base pass. 2-1. The pitch. And therefore strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fenton looking for the second strikeout of the inning. Looks like a ball flew out of the field. I don't know where that came from. Time was called by the infield umpire. I was not able to catch his name which is unfortunate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That'll miss high. 3-2. Another full count. That is not what you like to see, especially in the first inning of a game, is to see your starting pitcher get into a lot of full counts. You know, it stresses the arm and puts more pressure on him to throw strikes, especially if he's getting to a lot of 3-ball counts. Steps off again. The pitch to Lawrenson. Swung on, driven. Center field. Richardson, the captain, under it, makes the catch. 2 away. Lawrenson is 0 for 1. Stepping up is Jackson Graham, the right fielder, number 19. Fenton 1 out away from getting out of this 2-run first inning by the Evergreen Cougars. The first pitch. Runner is off. Throw down to third base. In time. He got him. Good throw by Donnie Reed. Able to bounce back from a tough first inning. Beautiful throw from the sophomore to the sophomore Charlie Phillips for the 3rd out. The Cougars put up 2 here in the first inning. The Rams looking to bounce back here on the offensive side. I do want to take a second to thank our sponsors that have been so gracious to support me and support GrassRoots. First off, First Bank, banking for good. A&B Bank, committed to our community to serve with strength, talent, and the security to fulfill all customer personal and financial needs. Bank of Colorado, to uniquely serve our community with strength, stability, service, and values. And the Terra League Structures, sustainable building. Thank you to our sponsors one more time, as they've made all of this possible for me. As the Cougars get set here on defense, Ryan Cook, the pitcher, getting his warm pitches in. Wind is picking up here in this half inning. Very chilly up here. I am, for those of you, well, I don't think many of you are aware, I am currently up on a piece of scaffolding here at Ron Patch Memorial Field. I've got a beautiful point of view as Marty Matson has helped set this up for me. It's a very, very big adjustment from last year. It's much, much better. Leading off for your Roaring Fork Rams, Kenny Riley, the shortstop, number 7, sophomore. He's going to fill the shoes and the role of Eddie Hernandez as the Roaring Fork Rams leadoff hitter, looking to steal some bases, as that is the Marty Matson philosophy. Turn walks or singles into triples and doubles. Cook, the pitcher, winds up the first pitch. And therefore, strike 0-1. Kenny Riley had no varsity appearance last year, was a full-time JV player, had a lot of success at the JV level, and now he's moving up here to varsity as he takes a big swing and a miss, just a little bit behind it. 0-2. Cook is a very fastball-heavy pitcher. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3. Kenny Riley goes down in 3 pitches. Very generous call by Bob Richardson. And now the 2-hole hitter, pitcher today, number 8, Chase Fenton. Cook winds up the first pitch. And therefore a strike, 0-1. Seeing the fastball is what that will be the theme of this entire game. Cook relies on it, pitches hard, pitches quick. As you can see, he's very quick to it. That'll be outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fenton had a phenomenal year last year at the plate, had multiple games of just reaching base every single time. Bob Richardson calling time, as looks to be there's a problem with Cook. The 1-1. Fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cole Fenton batted .400 last year from the left side of the plate. 1-2. That'll miss low. Good eye by the pitcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fenton had an on-base percentage of exactly .500. Also led the team with ERA. He had a 1.94 last season. It was just such a fun year to see Fenton just do everything. The 2-2. Makes good contact, fouls it away behind our complex here. 2-2. Cole had 30 hits, which was 3rd on the active roster behind Eddie Hernandez and Noel Richardson. Richardson is the would-be batter behind Fenton. The 2-2. Skied left field, foul territory, right fielder, left fielder under it, makes the catch. Slides on the seat of his pants. It's a wonderful play. So now with 2 outs, a 3-hole hitter, Noel Richardson will dig in. Noel's playing center field, and he was a left fielder for the majority of last year. Played a little bit of catcher, played a little bit of first. Didn't really play much of center. I believe he had a couple appearances, but you put your best athlete at shortstop in center field, and that's definitely where Richardson belongs. First pitch will be outside and down, 1-0. So far, I've only seen fastballs from Cook. Haven't seen him go to the well yet. Swing and a miss. Richardson a little off balance. Count tied up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Richardson has played all 4 years at the varsity level. Called for a strike at the knees, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch to Noel Richardson. In there for a strike. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Cook, both of them backwards Ks, and the Rams failed to put a hit on the board or a run. The score remains 2-0. Bob Richardson just came by and said hi. Always good to see him. He is, he's been reffing and being, umpire and since I've been a kid, forever. I remember some funny stories when I played 8th grade football for the CMS Rams. We give him a hard time in basketball games for sure. Bob's he's a good sport though for sure. He's been doing it for over 25 years. Fenton will finish up his warm-up pitches. Currently, if I've clicked my clicker enough, he is at 26 pitches. As Donnie Reed throws it down to second base, we are underway here in the second inning as the Evergreen Cougars are leading your Roaring Fork Rams 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. Leading off the inning will be Jackson Graham, rather. Graham had his at-bat cut short as Jack Teska was caught stealing at third. Graham plays right field. The first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. Half swing. 0-1. Coach Oldman making adjustments here from the dugout. The 0-1 pitch from Fenton. Misses high. 1-1. That'll miss. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Fenton swung on and missed. Graham is way late on that one. 2-2. Last season, the Rams had 10 home games. They dropped 4 of them and won 6. Actually had a negative run differential when playing here at Ron Patch Memorial Field. Very interesting, though. They had 2 more wins. They needed to losses. Strike 3 called at the knees. Graham goes down looking. Cole Fenton picks up his second strikeout, his second of the game, his first of the inning. And now that'll bring Jackson Hastings, number 6, playing center field. Hastings digs in. Fenton gets a sign from Reed. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, fouled away. That'll be popped up over the porta potties and over the apartments. 0-1. A long pause, the pitch, outside. It's a good spot to miss for sure. Fenton has gone over 31 pitches. He's got a leash of 35 that Marty Matson is very sure on, as that pitch will be popped up and all right, so it looks like that was actually the 35th pitch, or 35th pitch. My apologies. So that'll be it for Fenton. He's got a short leash because we've got a lot of games coming up, and we want to save them for more important times throughout the week. We're going to go to Simplesio. We're going to go to Kent, Denver. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looks like the new pitcher will be Kenny Riley, the sophomore. He was at short, so Cole will move to short where he does play in the field. I'm going to be honest, I have not seen Riley pitch. I know he's a phenomenal athlete, plays football, was quarterback for the JV team a year ago from now. Riley getting his warm-up pitches. Riley is finishing up his warm-up pitches here at Ron Patch Memorial Field here in Carbondale, Colorado. I am your play-by-play and color commentator, Brooks Chatman. The Rams are trailing the Evergreen Cougars 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. The count is 1-2 as we had a new pitcher brought in, as the leash on Cole Fenton was exactly a very firm 35 pitches from Coach Marty Matson. So Hastings will dig in with a 1-2 count. Here's a pitch. That'll miss low. Good block by the catcher. 2-2. Being that was Riley's very first pitch at the varsity level, I don't blame him for spiking that in the dirt. Hastings will be followed by Theo Beckley, and if given the opportunity, James Morrow. The pitch. That'll miss low again. Full count. Yesterday, I spent a very, very long time here at the stadium with Charlie Phillips, Kenny Riley, and Cole Fenton. Spent a lot of time working on defensive mechanics. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. No, just got a piece of it. Just got a piece of it, so we'll keep it 3-2. The center fielder Hastings in a full count with Kenny Riley. The 3-2 delivery on the way. Line drive center field. That'll get down for a base hit. So first hit of the game goes to Jackson Hastings. Hastings gets a line drive in the center field. That was a beautiful swing. Now coming up to bat will be Theo Beckley, number 34, playing first base. Runner on first is Hastings. Riley collects himself. The pitch. That'll be blocked by Donnie Reed as that pitch was in the dirt. 1-0. Here's a pitch from Riley. Runner is off. Throw down by Donnie Reed. Not in time. Pops out of the glove of Max Seitel Hayes. I just lost my pencil. That was no fun. Runner on second, Hastings. The pitch. That'll miss high. 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes on the batter, Beckley. I assume he let it eat. The pitch. Called for a ball. From my point of view, it looked like it was at the knees, but you can't get what you want all the time. So Theo Beckley will take a walk. First walk allowed by Kenny Riley. Now James Morrow, freshman catcher, digs in. First pitch to Morrow. Runner is off, going to third. Double steal, throw down the third. Not in time. That was a beautiful throw. Good tag. Hastings and Beckley both get a stolen base. Both runners in scoring position here with 1 out in the top of the second inning. The Cougars threatening to score once more. The pitch from Riley. Swung on and missed by Morrow. Count evens up, a ball and a strike. Riley gathers. Winds up, delivers. Misses inside. That's a good pitch. Tough strike zone today. 2 balls and a strike. Swung on, ground ball. Right in front of my setup. Thank goodness I have a fence. Atta baby Charlie. Charlie Phyllis, one of my favorite players on the team. Full count. Or sorry, 2 balls and 2 strikes. My apologies. Both runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Right field. Out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here's the delivery to the freshman catcher, Morrow. Line drive to short. Tough hop over the glove of Cole Fenton. Both runners will score. Beckley comes in standing up, and the Cougars double a lead 4-0 here in Carbondale. That'll be an RBI single for the catcher, Mora. Looks like he's got a pinch runner for him. Lineup will flip back over to Griffin Goshman. One out here in the second inning. The first pitch swung on, bunted on, actually, goes behind the catcher, Reed. The runner was off. The wind is definitely playing with me. It's flipping my papers all over the place. It's not very fun. So the pinch runner definitely dancing around over there at first base. Riley takes a peek, gathers. Throws to Goshman, the pitch. And it hit him. So, Goshman will reach off of a hit by pitch. Brody March, number 3, playing second, will dig in. He walked, got a stolen base, and then later scored a run. That was all back in the first inning. First pitch from Riley. Swung on, driven right field, Weston Sherman. Under it, makes the catch. Cutoff is made by Cole Fenton. 2 outs here in the second inning. Down at Reed calling out the defensive calls. Runner at third, runner at first. I'm looking at the scorecard here. I cannot figure out who this number 10 is, the pinch runner at third base. But the batter will be Ryan Cook, the pitcher. Got 2 strikeouts back in the bottom of the first inning. Runner is off. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Gets past Cole Fenton. That is just, that is tough. Bounce over the glove of Fenton, trying to cut it off. Another run will score. The score is 5-0 here in the second inning. They've scored, the Evergreen Cougars have scored 3 so far this inning. Two balls and no strikes. Ryan Cook went down looking in his first at bat. Here's a pitch from Riley. That'll miss high and away. 3 balls and no strikes. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. That'll miss low. Ball 4. Ryan Cook is 0 for 1 with a walk. Situation is back to first and third as Donnie Reed calls out, and the batter will be Jack Teska. He walked, then stole a base, and then got caught stealing at third, which ended the top of the first for the Cougars. Teska digs in. Riley takes a peek at third. The pitch, runner is off to second. Line drive to second base. Mike Seitel-Hayes falls over. Throw to first, not in time. Another run will score. The 4th run of the inning. That run that scored was Griffin Goshman. So now number 2, Cole Lawrenson, flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Line drive, second base, shortstop actually. Fenton throws across the diamond to first in time for the 3rd out. Kenny Riley all smiles as he gets off the mound. He's just enjoying himself out there. The Cougars put up 4 here in the 2nd inning. The score is 6-0 here at Ron Patch Memorial Field. Welcome back to Carbondale, Colorado. I am your play-by-play and color commentator, Brooks Chatman. Leading off the Rams half of the second, the bottom half of the 2nd inning will be the catcher, Donnie Reed. He's had some defensive struggles behind the plate so far today. Takes a check swing, but called in there by Bob Richardson. 0-1 is the count. Donnie Reed will be followed by Max Seitel-Hayes and Ethan Gardner. The 0-1. Called for a strike. 0-2. Reed, a very powerful hitter, has seen back-to-back strikes. We've only seen fastballs by Cook. Here's the 0-2. Missed high, but a swung on and missed. Donnie Reed goes down in 3 pitches. Cook picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game. Mike Seitel-Hayes, playing second base, the leader of the infield, will dig in for the first at-bat of his senior year. Seitel-Hayes is very fun to watch defensively. He flies around, he jumps around when batters or runners are on, It's a lot of fun to watch. He's got a really good personality as well. He's just a fun player. Bounces off the glove of the catcher for the 4th time of the game, but called in for a strike. The Rams have looked at a lot of strikes so far. Once they start getting the bat off their shoulders, I have no problem knowing that they'll start making some noise. Here's the 0-1 by Hayes. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Cook throws very hard. I mentioned that earlier. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Tough at bat right there by Seitel Hayes. Goes down looking. His 3rd backwards K. And the senior Cook is cooking. Ethan Gardner will dig in now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Gardner, a junior, plays left tackle for the Roaring Fork Rams football team. Digs in, very powerful hitter. Swung on and missed. 0-1. The 0-1 from Cook. Grounded foul. 0-2, falls behind in the count. We've just seen a lot of strikes. We've seen them very quickly. But it's definitely difficult when, some of the calls could go both ways. No balls and 2 strikes. Cook raises himself for the 0-2 delivery. Gardner stays in. Cook gets the pitch. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. The Rams go down in order. 3 consecutive strikeouts here in the 2nd. Rams struggle offensively. Let's see if Kenny Riley can pick it up on the mound. Score is still 6-0. Welcome back to Ron Patch Memorial Field. We're here in the 3rd inning as the Evergreen Cougars came here to Carbondale to face off against the Roaring Fork Rams. The Rams are down 6-0. It's the same theme as it was last year as the Cougars took advantage of the Rams' poor defense and pitching with the final score of 15-0. First pitch from Kenny Riley misses down to the way, and the 3rd inning is underway. Riley, the sophomore, settles in. Swung on and tipped into the glove of Donnie Reed. Jackson Graham had a backwards K in his first at-bat. Let's see if he can replicate that exact outcome in this one. The pitch. Swung on, driven. Very shallow center field. Cole Fenton makes the catch. 1 out. Hastings will dig in. He had a single into center field. It was a line drive off of Kenny Riley. He then had a stolen base. The first pitch, that'll miss low, just below the knees. 1-0. Third baseman Charlie Phillips being very vocal here for the Rams. The 1-0. Swung on, tapped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, there's a big issue with being so out in the wide open. If a foul ball comes my way, I have no glove at my disposal. It's a very daunting thing to think of. One ball and 1 strike. Here's a pitch from Riley. Ooh. Batter definitely went around, but Bob Richardson couldn't see it. But being an umpire in baseball is one of the hardest jobs. It was appealed down to first, actually, but still called safe. 2 balls and a strike on the batter, Hastings. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Good delivery. Completely ran away from the barrel of Hastings. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Would love to see Kenny Riley flip things around here and have a quick inning and send the Rams offense back out there to put some runs on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery from the sophomore Riley. Swung on, driven center field. That'll get down for a base hit, maybe more. Ethan Gardner cuts it off, lets Noel Richardson take care of it, throws it to the cutoff man, Cole Fenton, and Hastings digs in with a double. Jackson Hastings is 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Theo Beckley will dig in now. Playing first base. He walked and had a stolen base in his previous at-bat. Here's the pitch. Swung on, tapped to third. Charlie Phillips, sure-handed, throws over to first, dropped. Andy McMichael drops a throw from Charlie Phillips. Runners on the corners. Here with 1 out. James Morrow, the freshman, will dig in. He had a 2 RBI single in his first plate appearance at the varsity level. Actually, in high school at all, actually. He's had a little bit of trouble getting the ball in his glove when he's receiving from his pitcher. Runner is off. Pickoff move. They've got him in a pickle. Kenny Riley throws to Seitel Hayes. The run will score. Throw back to first. Not in time, still in a pickle. Cole Fenton hits the batter. The runner. So I'm trying to understand what just happened. Obstruction was called by one of the Rams' defenders. So another run will be put up without any outs. Somehow survive the pickle. Score 7-0. First pitch tomorrow. Swung on, driven left field. Ethan Gardner on his horse. Comes in on it, makes the catch. Throws it to Charlie Phillips, the cutoff man. No runners advancing. 2 outs. That is a very good thing to see, outfielders making the routine plays. I know that sounds silly, but, you know, the first couple games of the year, making a play in the outfield is not easy. You know, there's some people that say, oh, well, you know, it has to be really easy. But to track the velocity and where the ball's going to end up and how fast you have to run and how fast you have to slow down, tracking an outfield ball is not easy. First pitch called for a strike on Griffin Goshman. Oh, pitch to Goshman. Popped up. Center field. Noel Richardson calling for it. Makes the catch. 3 outs. Limits the damage to 1. Evergreen Cougars still leading the Rams 7-0 and going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Welcome back to Ron Pat's Memorial Field. Weston Sherman will lead off the Rams half of the 3rd inning. Brian Cook has just been absolutely dominant on the mound. 5 out of the 6 hitters he has faced has ended up in strikeouts. The pitch. And therefore a strike. 0-1. No balls and a strike on the way to Sherman, and therefore a strike. Rams just cannot pull the trigger. I understand he's throwing fast and he's working quick. Strike 3. Another strikeout for the Rams. Only had 1 ball in play. That was a Cole Fenton flyout into left field. Andy McMichael playing first base, number 3. We'll dig in. Just got to put the bat out there. Wind is flying. The ball will soar. Legal motion called by Bob Richardson. 1-0. Went around, 1 ball and a strike. Andy McMichael seen a ball. Not many Rams hitters have seen a ball against Mr. Cook. That'll miss high. 2-1. By no means is this game out of hand. The Rams have plenty of star power on the offensive side. Just need to settle in. Called for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Phillips will be the hitter following Andy McMichael. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. That'll miss. 3-2. Cook is not happy. I don't I have to keep my personal opinions out of the way, but I don't appreciate the attitude from Mr. Cook. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout. 6 consecutive strikeouts for the Rams. Charlie Phillips will dig in. The sophomore. Cook settles in on the top of the mound. The first pitch. Popped up right field. Had to go foul. Good piece of contact. There's a reason why Charlie Phillips is special. He works with Cole Fenton every day. He times up very quick velocities. I'm not too worried about this at-bat right here as he spikes one in the dirt, 1 ball and a strike. As I mentioned, he works with Cole Fenton every single day, just about. A lot of live ABs off of him. And when you face the best pitcher in the state of Colorado, you'll definitely be able to time up anything. Pops it up, goes foul. Charlie Phillips still running out, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cook, the senior, gets the pitch. Here comes a fastball, 1-2. Strike 3. Seven consecutive strikeouts for Mr. Ryan Cook. Rams are struggling offensively. Let's see if they can keep things calm on the defensive side. The score is 7-0 Evergreen Cougars. As Donnie Reed will throw things down to second base. We're underway here in the 4th inning. The Rams are trailing the Evergreen Cougars a score of 7-0. Looking to keep things on the down low. Here on the mound is Kenny Riley. He'll go into his 3rd inning of work, the sophomore. Brody March, the batter. First pitch to him. And therefore a strike. 0-1. Good pitch from Riley. Line drive. More of a pop out, actually. Center field. Richardson makes the catch. 1 away. Knoll is definitely one of the better defenders, if not the best defender on this team. Max Seitel Hayes definitely very sure-handed. Cole Fenton has his moments. Noel Richardson probably one of the most complete players on the field. Ryan Cook, the pitcher, will dig in. He struck out and then walked. Well, it actually looks like that is not Mr. Cook. That is number 7. I need to figure out who that is. Wind is definitely picking up here. That'll miss high and away. Let me see who number 7 is real quick. I do not have a number 7 on my roster. So, Mystery Man up at the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch from Riley. That'll drop in front of the plate and skid into the glove of Donnie Reed. 3 balls and no strikes. Rams averaged 7.5 runs allowed in all the home games last year. So that's going to be high for ball 4. Mystery Man will walk. Jack Teska will be the batter now. As I was saying, the Rams average about 7.5 runs allowed as they allowed 75 runs in those 10 games. On the offensive side of things, Fork, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, actually had a negative run differential as they scored 70 runs in those 10 home games, that being an average of 7 per game. First pitch from Riley, that'll miss low. By season's end, the Rams put up 186 runs and allowed 165, which means the average score of last season was 7-6 in favor of the Rams as they finished 15-10. Here's a 1-0 delivery from Riley. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Teska takes a big swing and miss. Teska is 1 for 1 with a walk in his first at bat and a single with a stolen base, and then got caught stealing. One ball, one strike. Here's a pitch. Runner is off. Donnie Reed gets it out of the glove. Good throw down, but just not in time. Seitel Hayes got the tag down. Time is granted to the runner. A stolen base for Mystery Man number 7. Two balls and a strike on Jack Teska. The pitch. Center field, more right field. Weston Sherman makes the catch. Throws to the cutoff man. That'll go to Cole Fenton. And that's where the ball will die. Now into the glove of Kenny Riley. So, 2 outs here as Mystery Man number 7 advances the third. The batter will be Cole Lawrenson. Lawrenson is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field, then a fly out. Oops. As I mentioned, a fly out to center field and the ground out to second base. Ahead in the count, 1-0 is the batter Lawrenson. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch. That'll miss high. 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Oh man, the wind is picking up. It's very, very chilly. The 3-0. And therefore a strike. Lawrenson thought he had a free pass to first, but that is not the case. 3-1 the count. Jackson Graham will be the next hitter. Three balls and a strike. Here's a delivery. That'll miss down and away for ball 4. Lawrenson does get his walk. Jackson Graham will be the hitter now. He is 0 for 2 with a backwards K and a fly out to shortstop. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors who have made all of this possible. First Bank, banking for good. A&B Bank, they are committed to our community to serve with strength, talent, and the security for service and values. In a pickle at first, McMichael throws to Fenton, makes the tag for the 3rd out. The pickle got in way of my ad read, but no worries. The Rams get their 3rd out, and they keep the damage to a minimum. 7-0 remains the score going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's see if the Rams can make some noise. Welcome back to Carbondale, Colorado. Kenny Riley will be the leadoff man here in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss, and we are underway. Riley is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking, that is. The 0-1 pitch. And therefore strike, 0-2. It's the same problem with most of the hitters today. They have not pulled the trigger. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Went with an off-speed. I believe that is the very first off-speed we have seen all game long for Mr. Ryan Cook. Works quickly. The 0-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes as that misses high. One of the deepest at-bats we've seen so far this game. 2-2. Strike 3. Nine strikeouts for Mr. Ryan Cook. He has faced 10 batters. Cole Fenton, the batter, flew out into left field and in his first at bat, the only Rams hitter to put it in play. That'll be called for a strike. 0-1. Bob Richardson very generous with the strike zone today. Went with a breaking ball. That was nasty. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch to Cole Fenton. Popped away, right field. That'll drop into the track, went right over my head. We'll keep the count 0-2. Good eye by Cole Fenton, 1-2. Popped away. Count will remain 1-2. Good fight right here by Fenton. Strike 3. This is a phenomenal performance from Brian Cook. Noel Richardson will be the batter now. He struck out looking. Here's a pitch. That'll miss high. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That'll miss high again. 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Good start the at-bat for Richardson. Number 11, playing center field, has made a couple plays today. The 2-0 pitch from Cook. And they're at the knees. 2-1. It's been a constant problem for the entirety of this game offensively for the Rams. They have not been able to pull the trigger on Mr. Cook's fastball. That'll miss low. 3 balls and a strike. Three balls, 1 strike. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Full count. Three balls and 2 strikes. Here were 2 outs in the 4th inning. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Dropped 3rd strike. Or no, he got a piece of it. Got a piece of it. Staying alive. Staying alive. 3-2. Strike 3 looking. Rams got to figure out an offensive adjustment. Another strikeout. Rams still trail 8-0. Donnie Reed will throw it on down to second base, and we are back here at Rompatch Memorial Field. Kenny Riley stays on the mound for the Roaring Fork Rams as he is looking to limit the damage. He has allowed 1 run in back-to-back innings, which is a great improvement, as that 4-run in the second inning has definitely set the big difference here in this game. Here in the top of the 5th inning, Kenny Riley to face off against Jackson Graham, who pops it up. Second baseman Max Seitel Hayes. What an amazing play. Runs out to his right, makes a tremendous catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kenny Riley, the sophomore. Theo Beckley will be the batter now. Tapped, foul, 0-1. Time called by home plate umpire Bob Richardson. Play is granted. 0-1. That'll miss below the knees. Went with the off speed. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch from Riley. Swung on, driven. Noel Richardson calls off Ethan Gardner, makes a catch. 2 away. Good communication in the outfield. Ethan Gardner originally called for it. Noel Richardson had a better play and a better angle. 2 outs for the batter. So my apologies, that last batter was actually Jackson Hastings. So Jackson just popped out into center field. Now Theo Beckley will be pinch hit for number 16. Number 16 is Hudson Sherrand. So Sherrand will dig in for the first time this game in place of Beckley, who went 0 for 1. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. First pitch. I don't know where that missed, but it sure did. 1-0. Riley has definitely settled in here, allowing 1 run in the 3rd and 4th inning, and so far has gotten 2 quick outs. Swung on and missed. Beautiful pitch. Sherrand even in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a pitch. Swung on. Fouled away. 1-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this 5th inning is Kenny Riley. Charlie Phillips being very vocal here at third base, as I am just off of the third base line, past foul territory, behind a fence. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, 2 outs in the 5th. The pitch, that'll bounce. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Encouragement coming from the infielders to Riley. Looking for a strikeout. The 2-2. That'll miss low. Number 16, Sherrand, he seems to buckle at every pitch. Gotten lucky on a couple of them as they've passed just below his knees. Two ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Riley gets the strikeout. What a way to end the 5th inning. No hits, no runs allowed. Rams still trail 8-0. Donnie Reed will be the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Rams still trail the Evergreen Cougars 8-0. Reed struck out swinging in his first at-bat. It was a couple tough swings. First pitch to him. Wow, that's a really generous call by Bob Richardson, the home plate umpire. 0-1. Popped up behind home plate. The freshman over there cannot make the catch. 0-2. Noel Richardson warming up here in the bullpen here at Ron Patch Memorial Field. Looking to come in relieve Kenny Riley, as Kenny Riley has done a phenomenal job. 1 run allowed in the 3rd and 4th. No runs allowed back in the 5th, top of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Donnie Reed. Swung on a miss. Goes to the breaking ball for another strikeout. Despite the lack of offensive success, there's definitely a big positive that comes out of today's game, and that's Kenny Riley, a sophomore pitcher coming into his first varsity game as a starting pitcher, a relief pitcher rather. Tapped. Max Seitel Hayes grounds out to first. 2 outs. One pitch, 1 out to Seitel Hayes. The batter will be Ethan Gardner. Struck out swinging. And his first at bat, he is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. That'll miss high. Pops out of the glove of the freshman catcher. 1-0. One 0 pitch to Ethan Gardner. Called there for a strike. 1-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Rams still trailing 8-0 on this opening day here at Ron Patch Memorial Field. Bunt looking, pops it up. Foul territory. 1-1. One ball, 2 strikes is the count to the left fielder, Ethan Gardner. The pitch. That'll bounce. That'll hit home plate umpire Bob Richardson, but he is tough as a brick wall. Does nothing to him. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Strike 3. Ethan Gardner strikes out looking. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. The Rams yet to pick up a hit. They trail 8-0 going into the top of the 6th inning. Donnie Reed throw things down to second base, and we are underway here in the 6th inning. We've got some defensive and a pitching change. Noel Richardson will be the new pitcher as he comes in of relief of Kenny Riley. In the outfield, Kenny Riley goes to left field. Ethan Gardner moves to center, and the infield remains the same. Donnie Reed will be catching Noel Richardson. The pitch in their first strike. 0-1. James Moreau, freshman catcher, 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single, swing and a miss, 0-2. That'll be tapped, foul. Count will remain 0-2. A 1-2 pitch. That'll miss high. 1-2. Richardson attops the best players on the team amongst Cole Fenton and some other good names. Misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, Richardson had a phenomenal year defensively and offensively, and even on the mound. That'll miss. 3-2. Noel had a .420 batting average last year with a .500 on-base percentage, the same as Cole Fenton. He had a 5.75 earned run average. That was second on the team. He had 30 runs scored, as that'll be ball 4. James Moreau walks. New batter, number 11. Aiden Hadgrove. Aiden Hadgrove comes in to hit for Griffin Goshman. Everybody gets their scorecards sorted out. We are back in play. That'll miss inside. Tough call. 1-0. Hadgrove wears number 11. 1-0 pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. Good pitch by Noel Richardson, the senior, the captain of this team. Noel is a multi-sport athlete. He excels in basketball. He had last year a 41-point game, which was almost a record here at Roaring Fork High School. The runner is off the pitch, skied up, infield. Seitel Hayes under it, has a chance at 2. Misplays it. So there's a little confusion on who was out on that play, but it was the batter that was called an infield fly, so that'll be pop out to second base, Max Seitel Hayes. Now, number 10 will dig in. The Cougars coaching staff bringing in their reserves. Number 10 is Colby Levinson. First pitch to the freshman. Runner's off with the pitch, swung on, driven, center field. Kenny Riley running, makes the catch. Beautiful play by the sophomore Riley. He is having himself a day. Got on his horse. What an amazing athlete Kenny Riley is to make that catch. Now, number 7, Mystery Man. Or no, sorry, this is number 4, Ryan Cook. This is where I got confused in the last inning. I think I was a batter behind for at least 2 batters, so that is my apologies to those listening at home. Noel Richardson makes a little jump at first base to get the runner back. First pitch to Cook, who is currently riding a no-hitter. A perfect game at that. Runner at first. James Moreau. He is off. Swung on, driven center field. Ethan Gardner on his horse. Cannot get there. That'll bounce. Hits the base of the wall. The runner around third will score. And James Cook, who is having himself a phenomenal day, gets on second base, throwing a perfect game. RBI double by Ryan Cook. The score is now 9-0 here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Wind is picking up as Jack Teska will pick up a bat and make another plate appearance with a runner in scoring position. Approaching double digits as the Evergreen Tigers, as the Evergreen Cougars have put up 9 runs here up against the Rams, who have been hitless so far. Richardson takes a peek at the second baseman in their first strike. 0-1. Richardson takes a peek at second. Swung on and missed. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The delivery. Curveball in the dirt. Throw down to first base. In time for the out. Noel Richardson gets a strikeout on the curve. Beautiful pitch from the senior. The Cougars put up 1 more in the 6th inning. The score is 9-0. The Rams searching for their first base runner of the game. That come by a walk or a hit. We shall see. Bottom 3 hitters are due up for the Rams. Weston Sherman, Andy McMichael, and Charlie Phillips. I'll see you back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Welcome back to Ron Patch Memorial Field as the Rams are trailing the Evergreen Cougars at a score of 9-0. Leading off this bottom of the 6th inning is Weston Sherman. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Let's see if we can get our first base runner and ruin Mr. Cook's perfect game. First pitch to Sherman. Tried to lay down a bunt. Couldn't get it. 0-1. Cook shakes him off. 0-1. Went with the curve. Weston went around with the bunt. 0-2. (0-2). Strike 3. Another backwards K for Ryan Cook. Batter will be Andy McMichael. Struck out swinging in his first at bat, playing first base today. First pitch from Cook. That'll miss outside. 1-0. Warming up in the bullpen is Chase Fenton, the brother of Cole Fenton. He's going to come in for relief of Noel Richardson. Chase is a freshman. It'll be his first varsity experience. One ball, one strike pitch on the way to McMichael. Tries to get a bunt down. Can't get it, though. 1-2. That'll miss low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McMichael looking to get on base. Ruined Mr. Cook's perfecto. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Went with the curveball. Struck out swinging. Now Charlie Phillips, the third baseman, number 2, will dig in. Rams are trailing 9-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Evergreen Cougars have scored in every inning besides the 5th. First pitch to Phyllis. At the knees for a strike. 0-1. Phyllis, though his size, a lot of people short him of a lot of athletic ability. Charlie's one of the better athletes here at Roaring Fork. He takes a pretty tough swing at that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Rams are still hitless. Still have yet to get a man on base. See what they can do in the bottom of the 7th. But before then, we got to get to the top of the 7th. So they still trail 9-0 going into the last inning of this game. See if something magical can happen. If not, it's no worries. It's opening day. Donnie Reed throws down to second. We are underway here in the top of the 7th inning. Noel Richardson stays on the mound for the Roaring Fork Rams, looking to limit the damage. The batter will be Cole Lawrenson. He will actually be pinch hit for number 5. Number 5 is Keller Floor, a freshman. Bob Richardson exchanging words with head coach of the Evergreen Cougars here in this last inning of play. Color floor, the batter. First pitch from Noel Richardson, the pitch. That'll miss low. 1-0. Swung on, driven right field. Weston Sherman dives, makes a wonderful catch. Oh my goodness, I thought it popped out of his glove, but that is not the case. What an amazing play by Weston Sherman, the junior, in his first varsity game. The batter will be Jackson Graham, number 19. Grounded out to first base in his previous at-bat. He is 0 for 3 today. First pitch called for a strike by Noel Richardson. Half swing. First base, McMichael backs off of his shoulder. Noel Richardson, PFP, covers first. Play is made. 2 away now. Swung on, popped up. Right field, Weston Sherman on his horse. Does not have a play on that one. Goes into the corner here in right field. Jackson Hastings, the batter. 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. Weak tapper. Noel Richardson throws to Andy McMichael at first in time for the third out. Noel Richardson makes back-to-back plays to get 2 outs. And the Rams go into the bottom of the 7th inning looking to put at least a hit on the board to ruin Mr. Brian Cook's perfecto. Last half inning of today's game is brought to you by First Bank, A&B Bank, Retreat, Roaring Fork Athletics, A&B Bank, and TerraLink Structures. Thank you to all my sponsors once more for giving me the time of day, helping me out financially with everything I've needed, making all this possible. I will be back with you shortly once the bottom of the 7th inning is underway. We are back here in Carbondale, Colorado. Kenny Riley will have his third at-bat. He has struck out looking in both of them. Final 3 chances for the Rams. Ryan Cook is riding a perfect game. A perfecto. He's got 3 more outs, 9 more strikes to go. Wow. Very generous call by Bob Richardson. At the knees of Kenny Riley. Misses high and away. 1-1. Need a base runner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That'll miss high, 2-1. Balls and a strike. That misses. 3-1. Ball 4. Kenny Riley gets the first base runner for the Roaring Fork Rams. The perfect game is lost for Ryan Cook. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the last half inning. Way to work, Kenny Riley. I would give him today's MVP without a doubt in my mind. He pitched 3 innings, allowed 2 runs, got on base. Kenny Riley made an amazing play out in left field. Batter will be Cole Fenton now. Fenton flew out into left field and then struck out swinging in his last at-bat. First pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1. Steps in, steps out, steps in, steps out. Cook playing with Kenny Riley as he's jumping around at first. Called a strike, definitely below the knees of Cole Fenton. No balls and 2 strikes. Throw back to first base, not in time. Check swing. That goes way behind the pitcher. The catcher, rather. Kenny Riley takes a big turn at second, but will not make his way to third. So a pass ball gets Kenny Riley in scoring position. Let's see if we can put a run up on the board. Cole Fenton in a 1-2 count with Ryan Cook. Here's the pitch. That'll miss high and away. 2-2. The Evergreen Cougars leading the Roaring Fork Rams 9-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tapped, foul. 2-2. Cole Fenton in a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Kenny Riley, the batter at second. The pitch, high and inside, 3-2. Threatening another walk here. Let's see if the Rams can get some noise on the base paths, maybe get some stolen bases, and possibly score our first run of the game. As we are trailing 9-0 here in the bottom 7th inning. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That'll miss high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for the Roaring Fork Rams. They've got something cooking here with no outs in the 7th inning. Two runners on. Cole Fenton at first. Kenny Riley at second. The pitch to Noel Richardson. Swung on, driven and foul. Got a hold of that one for sure. A 1 pitch on the way from Cook. Steps towards the runner. Time is called and granted. Richardson threatening a hit. Called inside. No balls and 2 strikes. The wind is blowing. He can get one opposite field. It might just go. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Richardson 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts here on opening day. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Donnie Reed, the catcher, struck out in both at-bats. See what he could do here with a runner in scoring position and a runner at first. Looking for the first run scored of the season, looking for the first RBI and the first hit of the season. Called for a strike in and out of the glove of the young catcher. 0-1 is the count on Donnie Reed. Reed has a very powerful swing, generates a lot of his power from his hips. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, driven right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Kenny Riley takes a big turn at third. He's going to go home. Now he's sent back by Coach Marty Matson. Cole Fenton in a pickle. Kenny Riley on his way home. He will score, and the Roaring Fork Rams get their first hit, RBI, and run of this 2024 season. Donnie Reed shot one opposite field. That got down for a base hit. There's a lot of confusion on the base paths, but ultimately the Rams get their first run. Max Seitel Hazen now with 2 outs. The score being 9-1. Donnie Reed, the runner at first base. Here's the pitch. That'll miss high. 1-0. Ryan Cook looks to be in his head just a little bit. Throw back to first. Not in time. Good pickoff move by the senior. Cook has committed to college out in Texas. Here's a pitch. That'll miss high and in. 2-0. Seitel Hayes, if given the opportunity, will be followed by Ethan Gardner, Weston Sherman, Andy McMichael, and Charlie Phillips. We would love to see all those batters come to the plate because that means some more runs can score for our Roaring Fork Rams. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch to the utility man. Called for a strike. 2-1. Seitel Hayes, a senior, along with Noel Richardson. This team, a very young team, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rams trailing 9-1. Donnie Reed gets back. 1 strike away from the end of this game. Ryan Cook with the pitch. Tapped foul. Got a piece of it, staying alive. Cook walking around on the mound. 1 strike away from a complete game. 1 run allowed, 1 hit allowed. Dominant performance. 16 strikeouts in the game for Cook. Now 17 as the ball game is over. Roaring Fork Rams will lose their first game of the year, opening day here in Ron Patch Memorial Field. Congratulations to the Evergreen Cougars and Ryan Cook. Hope to see them in the playoffs. Hope that they have a wonderful season and they stay healthy. This non-conference, non-league game did not end in the favor of the Roaring Fork Rams, but regardless, it was a fun game. It was fun to see the kids play, and it was fun to have baseball back here in Carbondale, Colorado. As the teams are going to shake their hands. Final score of today's game, 9-1. The first inning, 2 runs to nothing. Then we went into the second inning. The Evergreen Cougars put up 4. The score was 6-0. In the third, they put up 1 more, that being 7. The fourth, another one, that being 8. In the fifth inning, no runs scored. Keep the score 8-0. And then in the sixth inning, they tacked on 1 more, the Evergreen Cougars, which led the score to 9-0. Then, in the bottom of the seventh inning, after keeping them scoreless in the top of the seventh, Donnie Reed rips one down the right field line for a base hit. Kenny Riley got held up at third, but then ended up making his way home for a base hit and a run. The only run scored for the Rams. Final score 9-1. I'm going to do a little recap here before I wrap things up. Ryan Cook, today at the plate, finished with 2 walks, an RBI double, and a strikeout. On the mound, he had 16 strikeouts and a complete game. Cole Fenton's, the starting pitcher for the Rams, only had 35 pitches, so you can't really base a performance off of that. But Kenny Riley, the story of today's game, amazing plays in the outfield, amazing pitching from the mound, was able to reach base for the first time amongst all Rams hitters. So congratulations to the Evergreen Cougars for their 9-1 victory over the Roaring Fork Rams. It's a long season ahead of us, and it's a long way to the playoffs where we will be. So my name is Brooks Chatman. I'm your color commentator here on GrassRoots TV Aspen. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you on Wednesday at Simplesio Stadium in Grand Junction when we face the Alamosa Mean Moose.